Good morning, YouTube. CompDude512 here with another long-awaited YouTube video. I realize it's been about 3 weeks since I uploaded a video, and you guys probably wondered where I was. Well, my bandwidth has been acting up, and now that it seems to be behaving somewhat, you'll get to see this video if it ever uploads, but the subject of this next video is in this box right here. And if you are a fan of Boredom and Variety on Facebook, I teased about these about a week and a half ago. Now here's what was in that box, and here's a little story about these Dual-Lite Liteforms LXURWE exit signs. Now there's a McDonald's next to me, which I have a friend working there. And when their store started undergoing a remodel, I knew that they had these Dual-Lite Liteforms LXURWE exit signs hanging in their building. And I asked him, well, if they discard those, will you try to get your hands on them for me? And like the good sport that he is, he snagged me not one, but two of these Dual-Lite exit signs. These are of the Liteforms series. Now, I will have a little bit of a story about the Liteforms series in the description. But I think I shouldn't talk anymore, and we should open these signs up and take a look. Now, here's how these signs look on the inside. And I'm about to tell you why I love the Liteforms series instead of the cheap plastic Chinese exit signs that you see everywhere. First of all, we're going to start right here. This is a line transformer. A lot of cheap Chinese exit signs don't have line transformers, and they rely on the board and the circuitry within that board to handle power surges and things of that nature. And when things go wrong, the power boards get fried and the whole sign fails to work. Dual-Lite got it right with these signs by putting a line matching transformer in these units to at least help with some of that before things got too awry. Secondly, of course, is the way that the inside is made. They use nice, high-quality, high-intensity LEDs in this sign. And while this sign is from 2002, those LEDs are still working fantastically. And what's interesting about these signs, as you can see, the top board up there is the LED board. And if you follow that down here, the charger board is a separate assembly, and you can see where the charger board hooks to the main LED board. You can also see right next to it where the nickel-cadmium battery hooks into that same charger board. This assembly is quite interesting. On the outside you see the AC on and push to test LED status, and you also see the charger switch right here. If you pull this LED board out, this is really not all that apparent once you look at it. That little switch right there that my thumb's on, that's your push to test switch. And right in there, you see all those traces for capacitors and whatnot on this charger board? The LED for the charger is right in there. You may not be able to tell anything about that while it's plugged in, but you know, it's a very well-made assembly. There's a burned resistor right there, but I don't think that should have any hindrance on the working ability of these signs. And this one up here looks like it had a checkered history, and it looks that like the contractors that originally installed these signs when they were brand new in 2002, or at least when the store was, got a little rough with these signs, and it was hooked up in some illicit way. Because they didn't use the knockouts on the plate on the back of the sign, they actually drilled holes in the back of the housing. Very interesting mounting method. I don't know whether they had a box in the ceiling that was too close to the wall to use the canopy, or what happened. I'd like to welcome all of you back to CompDude's house of illicit wiring, where our wiring jobs are the asbestos you've ever seen. Oh boy, only 5 people are going to get that pun, I just know it. Well, as you can plainly tell, despite the fact that these signs are about 11 or so years old, the LEDs are still in fantastic condition. Now, I dare you to find me a Dual-Lite's LPX series sign, which happens to compete with the Dual-Lite LX series, that's still in this good a condition. And I bet you will not be able to find a sign like that. Because the Dual-Lite's LPX series, let me tell you something about it. I don't know if the LEDs in those are just junk quality or not, but the illumination of a Dual-Lite's LPX series exit sign starts to have some degradation and dimness to it around the 6th or 7th year that it's installed. And whatever is in their circuitry that charges the battery, and this is the same thing that happens to Lithonia quantum signs. Whatever little circuitry that they use to charge the battery dims the LED when it cannot charge the battery anymore due to the battery just not working or the age of the sign. And the illumination suffers because of it, because it doesn't think there's a battery in there to charge, even though there is. And that is what is great about Dual-Lite making the charger assembly in these signs a whole entire separate board. Because as you can tell, it has no effect on the illumination of these signs. They are still as bright as ever. And I'll tell you what, I couldn't tell, and I would not know, that these signs were about 11 or 12 years old if there weren't date codes on the inside. Because that's the product quality that Dual-Lite cranks out. These signs are still perfectly illuminated after all these years. I'm going to go ahead and throw the faceplates back on these and show it to you. And the camera's probably not going to do it any justice. But as you can plainly see, if you would be able to tell, the face on these signs, both of them, are as evenly illuminated as any sign that I've ever seen. There's been no LED degradation whatsoever here on these Dual-Lite LXURWEs. Well, that's been quite enough of my rambling for this video. I'd like to thank you for watching this video on these 2002 model Dual-Lite LXURWE exit signs from the Liteforms series of products. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down in the section below. And I promise that there will be no more 3-week droughts for videos. That should be well and truly over right about now, as I will have a very special video coming up in the next week or two. Probably more emergency lighting and exit signs from an acquisition, and maybe a computer video. So stay tuned for that. For now, thanks for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.